Hello, 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 everybody. This is Dr. Venus Opal Reese with DefyImpossibleEvent.com. And welcome to Get Your Paper Girl Boot Camp Wednesdays. This is a lot of ways one of my big give backs. Each Wednesday, at least for a while, we'll see how it goes, right? I am pouring into you for roughly 20 minutes or so, and then I'm taking questions about a topic that concerns Black women in business. Okay? And today I want to talk with you about, I want to talk to you about money, but I want to talk to you about money in a very, very particular way. And I'm going to say it's a lot I want to say, but let me begin with Black women and money. It's a sordid affair, okay? Meaning that, um, wow, I can actually hear myself on the other line. Wow, that's so cool. Meaning that if you think about the history of slavery in North America, our relationship with money is rooted in race. Okay, real talk, y'all. So get ready for this. And this is something I'm going to be getting into. I'm going to really dive deep into this at the Defy Impossible event happening in delicious Dallas on October 10th through 12th. Please go to www.defyimpossibleevent.com to get your ticket. You need to be there. If you're a Black woman who wants to make money or make more money, get to Dallas. We have an extraordinary event set up for you. It's 3 days, all about you, where you come first. It's all designed around this whole history of being a Black woman, a successful, educated Black woman who still puts herself last. Because we have a history of slavery and oppression that we've inherited, that we actually think is us. We think our survival is us, especially when it comes to money. Okay, so for example, have you ever heard that with Jeff? It was a comedy man who used to say, "You know, you're a redneck if." Okay, we're not rednecks, but I'll show you what I'm talking about. So you know you're a Black woman who's still stuck in slavery if, okay, that's how it goes, if you are making somebody else rich with your genius. You see, like if you are slaving for somebody else and you're making them rich, consider that's a fallout of slavery. Okay? You know you're a Black woman still at the effect and the residue of slavery if you are carrying everybody in your family on your back. Your mama, your baby's daddy, your aunt, your uncle, your grandparents, they all moved in. It's sort of like you became the wallet for your family. You became the ATM for your family. And you feel guilty if you say no. If that's you, holla. Okay, y'all know how we roll. If I'm saying something that resonates, holla. If I'm saying something that's really true for you, say preach. And if I'm saying something like, oh my God, she so knows me, say holla and preach. Just type it into the chat box, okay, so that I know I'm not crazy. And that I'm not alone in this, okay? You know you're a Black woman at the effect of the history of slavery and oppression if, little Foxworthy thing, if you are organized around working hard. Literally, like if it comes easy, you don't trust it. You're like, what do you want from me? You don't trust it. So if it's too easy for you, it doesn't have any credibility with you. Okay? If any of those resonate with you, you are going to love our topic today. Okay? Because I want to invite you to consider something that you may never have considered. Okay? And it's really something I'm going to invite you to breathe through with me. I'm a breather, y'all. I breathe through things. I breathe through because breath is life. Inhale, inspiration, giving life to. Give life to yourself by breathing in and breathing out, right? This is one of those conversations you need to open your heart for. And in fact, I'm planning to have a longer version of this with my dear friend and esteemed colleague, Well, esteemed peer, because I don't work with her. I like to call her a colleague, but she's my peer. Nikki Woods. She's the executive producer of the Tom Joyner Morning Show. She's a formidable businesswoman in her own right. And she and I are going to be having this conversation a little while later on Tuesday, I believe, this upcoming Tuesday. If you want more information about that, if you want to know about that, I'm going to invite you to please go to defyimpossible.com and put your name in so that you can get on the list. Okay, so that's not going to be broadcast to everybody. We're going to create that more private because it's going to be a full training. It's probably be about, I don't know, 75 to 90 minutes, whereas this is like 20-ish kind of minutes. But she and I are going to have a really deep conversation, a profound one for Black women in money. Okay, and it really has to do with, I'm going to say, please hear me. I'm saying this in love, that we actually relate to money like money is the enemy. I'm going to say that again. Given a history of slavery and oppression we have experienced, that we were born into, that has been reiterated generation after generation after generation, that our mothers' taught us, that we're now teaching our baby girls. Money is the enemy. Okay, think about it. It's not hard to understand. If you think about the history of slavery, that Black women birthed, like we birthed North America, literally came through our wombs, right? And it was through our bodies that this country got built. So as far as I'm concerned, this shit is mine. I'm just being real about it, okay? This is my house. America belongs to me, all right? Because I built this. As far as I'm concerned, you can't tell me nothing about my country. So warts and all, imperfections and all, right? But if you think about it, our children were sold for money. Do you see what I'm saying? Historically, that's what that was about. Our men were lynched for money. Our men now go to jail for money. We've lost our sense of self because of money. So we have a torrid relationship with money. And if someone tells you race doesn't matter, if someone says race doesn't matter, they're full of shit. Because race and money roll hard. They are not separate. They're not separate. Okay? And the irony of all of this is what I want you to hear, my precious, precious sister. The irony of all of this is that Black women make money. Okay? I'm talking to one of my boys. His name is Donnell. He's gangster, right? He's at greediomedia.com. The brother is gangster with everything, right? And he and I were talking. We were doing a recording in Austin this past weekend, and we're talking about some stats. And if I had thought of it, I would have had him here for you. But according to Nielsen, okay, and I may be a little off because I have old stats, he has new stats, right? But he's a powerful brother, and he pointed out to me that according to Nielsen, over 60% of, and he says 70. My stats say 60, his stats say 70. But just to be safe, I'm going to say 60% of African American buying power lies in the hands of Black women. And by 2015, that buying power annually will exceed, I believe it was $6 trillion. So if you think about it, that's 600, I can't even do this right. That's $600 billion that Black women control in terms of spending power annually. This is when you start praying out loud, right? You're like, Jesus, okay? And yet we're making somebody else rich. We're not living free. We're not living the lifestyles we want to live. We're working for somebody else, or we're pouring our money into mentors and coaches and not getting a good return on investment because they don't know who we are. They don't know us. They have no respect for what it takes to be a Black woman in America. And it's not even like malicious. They just have no clue. And I'm not mad. I'm just very pro you. And you'll hear me say that again and again and again. But I'm saying that to say that our experience is not one of wealth. And I'm not okay with that. So I stopped by tonight. Thank you. Thank you, Donnell. My brother from another mother, he actually sent me the right stat, is 1.5 trillion in buying power by 2015. That's power. And if Black women actually start to harness that power, we really would understand our worth, not about worthiness, because that's a leftover from the history of slavery and oppression that we've inherited and we've lived and we perpetuated because we haven't actually taken on our sense of self. We've been putting our money on us. I'm inviting us to put our money in us. And that's what I'm going to be covering at the Defy Impossible event.com, October 10 through 12. That's a Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Go to that website, get your ticket. Look, I'm going to tell y'all something. You didn't hear it from me, okay? Okay. You didn't hear it from me. Okay, well, you did. Okay, you heard it from me. I just literally today, and it's not finished yet, okay? I just received an email from OWN because I'm reaching out to them because I'm trying to do this thing around Black women millionaires, right? And anyone who's been following me knows I'm like, ah, because I'm not like Susan Taylor, I'm not Beyonce, I'm not one of those people, right? I'm not one of the shinies, right? I'm just a regular Black girl, you know what I'm saying? I'm real talk, and that's not bad. That's not bad, right? But I was nervous. It was like, okay, God, please help me not choke. And so today I was doing my follow-up business calls because I did a brilliant tour with Start Wherever You Are with Shirley Ransom. She's a bad sister. She's amazing. She and her partner Kimberly, they put together a national tour for Black women, African American women empowerment. And I'm one of those thought leaders. So we just did our kickoff in Austin, and we're coming to Beaumont in a couple of weeks. If you're on my e-zine, you'll get the information. But if you want to know more about that, just go to Start Wherever You Are community on Facebook, and you'll find out all the details. And it's a great tour. 7 speakers or 7 thought leaders who are crushing it. And one of the things that Sherry's committed to is that we know that we have Black women who have books and products and services, so we don't have to go to Wayne Dyer. We don't have to go to, she gave me some great names, Tony Robbins, and she wasn't being negative, and I get it. What she was saying is, it's us lifting us up. The Black women, we have so much to give each other. We can do this together, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful that Sherry Ransom would put this together for us along with Kimberly. So, but I was saying all that to say that when I was with Donnell, we were doing the recording. Oh, Donnell was texting me. Okay, I just want y'all to know what's happening. Like, what the? Okay, fine. I said Cheryl. I take it back. Sherry Ransom, Sherry, okay, Sherry. Start Wherever You Are tour. If you can grab it, we may be coming to a city near you, right? So bottom line is, because of the history of slavery and oppression, we have been taught to earn it, to make it, to prove it, to overcome it, or barter for it. As Black women, that's how we navigate this world. And that has everything to do with our sense of self. You see? So what I'm proposing, okay, what I want for you, this is my prayer for you, okay? This is my wish for you, is that you live the life that you've given up on the inside. Do you know what I'm talking about? Holla. Do you know what I mean? Like, that dream life. Do you know what I'm saying? That red carpet life, that jet life, that own your own plane life. Because you can have it. You really can. And you're closer than you think. You're so close. The only thing that's missing, I've been doing this for over 20 years. The only thing missing is a system and a guide. It has nothing to do with working on you in the way that you think. You just need a guide. You just need a system. That's it. They didn't teach us systems. They taught us to testify. They didn't teach us systems. They taught us to demonstrate and prove. They didn't teach us systems, They taught us to take what we can get. And we're not satisfied with that anymore. It's a wonderful time to be a Black woman in North America, especially a Black woman who's entrepreneurial. And I don't know one of us who's not, because we get to say how this goes. Okay? So that's what I want to touch base with you on today. So I'm very interested in hearing from you, and I'm not going to keep you long. Just I'm going to go check on the chat box. Because you know me and technology. I'm going to check on the chat box and see what questions do you have, okay, about Black women and money in terms of the history of slavery. You know, I think of it as money as the enemy, okay? And the training, the live stream I'm going to be doing with Nikki Woods is called Money is the Enemy. 3 antidotes for what slavery has taught Black women about money so you can make millions, okay? That's what we're going to be doing on Tuesday. I believe it's going to be 7 or 8 o'clock. I'll lock it down within the next day or so. I got to check with Janet, my executive assistant, so I'll know what I'm doing. But that's what we're going to be talking about, and we're going to have an opt-in page so that you have, because it's not for everybody. It's going to be for people who really are actually down for this whole conversation. And we're going to go deep with it in a beautiful way, in a beautiful, beautiful way. Okay? Okay. Oh, okay. So my partner in crime, Donnell, just sent me another text. Let me know to look at the questions in reverse order so that I don't end up confused. So let me get to that so I can see how to do this. So what's happening now is I'm going to look at the chat, and it's a little delayed. Okay, so I'm gonna go look at me talk, and I'm gonna do the reverse order of the comments, so that I'm on the right thingy thing. Okay, now I'm gonna do it on the reverse chronological. Okay. Money isn't energy. Okay. Okay, so I believe I have it. I think I'm right. It is crazy. So Viola says money isn't the enemy. Money is energy. Viola, I think you're absolutely right. Money is absolutely energy. But I'm saying that in terms of the history of slavery that we've inherited, a number of Black women have a contested relationship with money. And I know that we want to get to the place where we see money as energy, but before you can get to that place, you're going to have to really confront how you relate to money now. Now, Viola, you may be at the place where you see money as energy, and I respect that, okay? What I'm interested in are the sisters who aren't there yet, okay? So that's what I'm speaking to. So I'm not disagreeing with you, and I acknowledge you on where you are in your own growth, in your own spiritual and evolution, your consciousness, you know? And so that's what, so I just wanted to make sure I put that in, okay? So I believe, so if you have any questions, go ahead and type them in right now, okay? I'm looking at the comments, and I have some from the last session. I see Cassandra. That's crazy. It is crazy, Cassandra. I see you. So whatever question or comments you have, please type them in right now, okay? I'm waiting. And while I wait, I want to share with you that we have an awesome location for the Defy Impossible live experience for Black women in business. It's going to be at the Love Meridian Hotel and at the Galleria, which is a beautiful property, beautiful, plush, lush. You really are in like the lap of luxury to learn. It's just really exciting to actually get that property and for our event, because I really wanted you to feel loved and pampered and fussed over, and that property fulfills on that in spades. Plus, it's near a mall. It's really literally like spitting distance to the what is it? The Galleria Mall, right? Which is wonderful. So again, let me see. Defy Impossible. Go to defyimpossibleevent.com to get all the details. Read about it. There's a beautiful video there. There's testimonials, and really check your heart to see if it's a match for you at this point in your life. If it speaks to your heart, I invite you to come join us. If it's not your season, then not a problem. Pass it to somebody who it is for. Okay? Pay it forward. And also, if it's not for you, that's not a problem. If you know somebody is for it, let them know about it. The biggest challenge I have is not my work. My work works. You know what my biggest challenge is? My biggest challenge is getting it to the people who need it, the people who are ready to do the work. And I request your partnership in spreading the word. Nobody knows me. Do you know what I mean? So I can't do it without you. I really sincerely need you to help me. If you see that this speaks to you, or if this live stream speaks to you, share it, tweet it, Facebook it, post. You know what I mean? Get the word out. That way people can. Okay, great. Janice says, so yeah, so next Tuesday, we're going to do that event. We're going to do The Money is the Enemy. We're going to do that at 7 p.m. Central Time next Tuesday. So that whole training, and I'll be doing it with Nikki Woods, the executive producer of the Tom Joyner Morning Show, next Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central Time. We'll set up a Facebook event page for that so that you'll know about it, and we'll keep it moving, okay? So let me see, comments. Let me refresh the page because I'm learning that you have to do that if you want to see what's fresh. So let's see here. I'm scrolling down. Okay, reverse chronological order. Okay, how can we undo the damage done by the stinking thinking we have been taught? Awesome question. I'm gonna read it again. How can we undo the damage done by the stinking thinking we have been taught? Great question, Cassandra. Let me see how to answer that. This is going to sound a little off the wall, but I want you to consider something, Cassandra, and this is for all of us. I want you to consider something that's going to sound pretty bloody radical. And it's not going to make sense until you hear me out. So stay with me to get the logic, okay? I would like for you to consider that you're not damaged. I really want you to hear that. I would love for you to, I mean, seriously, it sounds crazy. And this is somebody who's come up off the streets. As many of you know, my mother put me out when on the streets as a young girl. And it was my 9th grade math teacher who saved my life. And there was a lot of negativity. I mean, I was raised in a culture of drugs, violence, prostitution, death. I was raised like that, right? It's not, it is not a game. So I was raised in that world. And again, like I said, Miss Francis, Judy Mae Francis, she's the one who intervened. A black woman, an inner city teacher was the one who intervened. And it took me about 20 years, Cassandra. It took me 20 years to really comprehend that everything that I would have called bad, negative, damaging, and shit was awful. I'm not suggesting it was pleasant, okay? On any level. That would be a lie. It was not. But this is what I want you to understand. I am so clear that everything that has ever happened in my life has prepared me to say this to you. Do you see? Like, I believe that God didn't accidentally give me the walk that I have. I'm very clear that my life is not for me. It's not my life. This is not my life. My life is for you. My life is to show other black women that they can do this. Okay? And it has everything to do with me honoring my worth, me learning that I matter, me really retraining myself to put me first, to feed from my overflow, not from my overdrawn. Do you see what I'm saying? And it takes a minute. This is not a magic solution or an easy fix. It's not that kind of party. But I want you to know that it's extraordinarily doable in a shorter period of time. Because now, because I've walked it for 20 years, I have systems that help people move through things quickly. Okay? And because I realize that the more I heal my heart, the more money I make. I work less now than I have in my whole life, and I make more money. But that's because my heart is healed. So to ask, and the short answer to your question, Cassandra, is heal your heart. Okay, and if you need any help with that, I can show you how to do that. Okay, but it's a great question. I'm gonna check to see um, what other. Let me see. I have to refresh the page to see which questions are there. Donnell, can you go ahead and put and type in the Defy Impossible event page so people can check on that, so they can look at it, please, in the chat box? Thank you very much. Let me go. Okay, it takes a minute, y'all. It's amazing. So I'm strolling down because I'm a stroller. Woohoo! And then I have to click the button again and have to reverse chronological order. Oh my God. Okay. I'm down. Okay. Okay, Rudy. Sade. With big glasses on. I'm down with the idea of liberating myself from financially carrying my whole family. But how does one deal with the guilt from that? Great question. The self-inflicted kind and the stuff verbally expressed by people who fall off the back who fall off the bankroll. Real talk. Love it. So, okay. Okay, this that was so funny. So, this is a great question with regard to guilt, okay? Here's what I'm gonna tell you what I've done, all right? Anytime I felt guilty about something, and specifically when it comes to family, and y'all gonna have to really open your hearts for this one. Anytime I felt guilty about something, it's because of a couple of reasons. One, I didn't tell the truth about something, and so I feel like I have to compensate. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't tell the truth or I didn't do something, so instead of coming clean, I let them get away with something. So it becomes this unspoken, you let me get away with this, I let you get away with that. Okay? And a lot of times we do that because we want to avoid conflict. I remember when I mean, this is one, oof, I'm trying to figure out what I say to you that's soft. Um, there was a situation in my birth family where I was asked to lie legally, and I declined. Okay? And I can't tell you how many bitches I was called. I can't tell you how I was all kinds of wrong. I was a bad person. I was a bad this. I was a bad that. But when I stood for myself and let them say what they needed to say, and I became very strategic. I realized that people could only hurt me if I gave them access to me, Rudy. So I stopped picking up the phone. I didn't let their words into my world. Okay? And when they wanted to say negative things, I would walk out the room. And I wouldn't let their words mean something about me. I let their words mean something about them. And it took a little practice because it was hurtful and mean-spirited. But I realized they weren't talking to me. They were talking to a historical idea I represent for them, like good daughter or good niece. Does that make sense? So they're not even when people say negative, whether they're family, friends, or business people, they're not talking to you. They're having a reaction that you happen to be the opportunity for them to say their piece about. They're not responding to you. They're responding to some internal hurt that they haven't healed, and they're projecting that on you. As you start to tend to your own sense of self, you stop feeling guilty and you start keeping your promises to yourself. The way that this is how I keep myself from feeling guilty about anything, Rudy. I keep my promises. I keep my promises. I keep my promises to myself and I keep my promises to other people. And the moment I don't, I go and tell them I didn't and I clean it up and I make a new promise. But that's the way I get rid of guilt. That's the only reason I would feel guilty. So I'm saying that if you're feeling guilty when they say stuff, don't give them that power. If you feel guilty, look to see what can you be responsible for, what can you clean up, and discern the difference between their stuff and your heart, because they're not the same. Okay? So I'm checking my time. I hope that helps. I'm gonna do one more. I'm gonna do one more round to see if there are any more questions before we wrap up this Get Your Paper Girl live stream. And again, thank you everybody for being with me, stopping in, listening in, passing the word. Please forward this information to other people. Oh my Lord, we got more, y'all. Okay. Okay, great. I think we're good. Okay, holla and preach. Okay. Good question. Okay, got that, Rudy. The page is up. Okay, great. So I think that's my time for now. Know that I love you with my whole heart. We're going to be doing the oh, money is the enemy training live stream next Tuesday, 7 p.m. And we'll get that information out once we get it all together. I still don't know how to make it all work, but I'm excited. Thank you for your patience with me as I learn how to do the live stream. And please spread the word, let people know. And lastly, go to www.defyimpossibleevent.com. We have a wonderful special for people who pay in full. It's a beautiful surprise. So go be nosy and find out about it. This is Dr. Vita Soparis with defyimpossible.com. Please know that you are loved beyond measure in that agape way, in that godly way, in that spiritual way. And remember, you're worth so much more than you have ever been taught to believe. Goodbye for now. Bye.